And of course, we would have wanted more people, but we could not, because of paucity of time, send out too many invitations. But we'll talk about it. So, but a little bit, let's do a little introduction. Alex will also do it, but Adrian, a little bit about yourself.
Ladies first, no?
Oh, don't worry.
So good morning. So thanks for the invitation. I got it from you, Vikram, and I didn't even confirm. So I'm sorry. These things have been hectic in the past weeks. So my main job at this point is I'm a professor of negotiation in a business school. I'm teaching negotiation and conflict management as a manager tool. I'm also teaching in law schools. I'm also teaching future mediators. I'm a lawyer by training, and I got trained in the US initially while doing an exchange program with a university in the Midwest. And I wanted to build my career around mediation, but I did mostly pro bono work. A little bit of paid work, but I'm mostly kind of an observer and an assistant to the French mediators than a mediator myself. So that's how I would define myself this morning.
And based in Lyon. You're in Lyon, is it?
Based in Lyon, yeah. So I'm from Paris originally. We lived 3 years in Nice, where we created with my wife a mediation center. That did not work that well, or at least as well as we expected. And that kind of peacefully died when COVID hit.
But we will discuss why it did not take off. We will discuss that, because that's also important as part of taking things forward. If things don't work out, what the reasons for that is, so that we learn from that. And yeah, perfect.
No, I mean, I'm happy where I am now. But one of my big projects at this point is that we're training our students to be peer mediators in school. I think we're the only university level institution that has or is creating a peer mediation system, because in France, we mostly do it in primary middle school. And so I have a group of about 15 students every year who get trained in mediation, and that help other students with their conflicts within the school. So this is just picking up. We're in the second year, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about that also, because as part of the World Mediation Circle, we have the country specific, but we also have the global school and college mediation circles. So this is also important. We'll get lots of things to discuss. Yes, but Alex, about you, we know a lot about you, but let other people.
Yeah, no, here. Nice to meet you, well, Vikram. I know you, but nice to meet you, Adrian, and thanks for sharing your experience. So, my name is Alexandra Wojtowicz. I recently moved to Bordeaux, as I am also originally from Paris, and I am an engineer by education, working in the energy industry. I joined a new job in the decarbonizing energy industry at the moment, and I'm also a mediator, but a young mediator, I would say. It's been like 3 or 4 years. I've been trained in France, and I think it's a very interesting topic to be spread in the workplace, in the family, everywhere. And I also had the opportunity to share that. To use, let's say, a bit of this competence in, let's say, special experience to me that I had last year, where I spent some time at the border between Poland and Ukraine. Poland being the country of my parents, and Ukraine, a country where I had some project in some previous jobs, and working with refugee and people, going through conflicts of all kinds due to a war conflict, has been very also interesting, and let's say helped me think about my way of practicing mediation. So it's been a quite good thing, and now starting also this new position. I am also thinking a lot of the perspective of mediation posture in in the workplace as well, and how to use it, and how to and when not to use it also, because when you have a direct professional relationship, you cannot always be a mediator. So so it's practicing live at the moment. So it's interesting. Voilà.
Good.
And thanks for the invitation. I always like this events gathering all kind of profiles, but with this aim of sharing, let's say, the good tools, posture, energy to try and have a more quiet and peaceful relationship wherever they are. So thank you for that, Vikram.
Thank you. And you all, I mean, of course, Alex has shared her experience at the Ukraine-Poland border in one of my shows. So what you can do is go to YouTube and just search Mediator Vikram and write Alexandra's name, and you will find that episode. So very interesting experience. I mean, I think that's been I'm sure, a life-changing experience for Alex. Definitely. Has it? Life-changing? Or,
yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure, in many ways. Oh, hello. Liz came in.
Yes, Liz, how are you? Could you pronounce the name? Because I would have said I wouldn't have. Liz.
Hello. Okay. Oops, something's going on.
Perfect. So hi, Liz.
Sorry. Oh, yes. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Oh, sorry.
My afternoon. Your good morning.
Good day.
Good day. Yeah, I think that's the best. Neutral greetings is what we need.
Exactly.
But at least both of them have introduced themselves. You'll also have to introduce yourself, a little bit about yourself.
Excuse me, I have like a strange voice these past weeks, so it's not easy.
You know it's a strange voice. For us, it's sounding like a good voice. We're okay with it.
Yes, but you know, everything starts from me, so that's why I kind of have to say it. So I joined the meeting on the invitation of Alexandra, whom I met during my training as a mediator. And she has become one of my good friends. And she's been talking about Mediator Vikram for the past months or years, maybe. And yes, she mentioned that there was this initiative to launch a mediation circle or mediation Vikram circle in France today. So I was curious to join and see what the intention was, and that's it.
Intentions are good, Liz. Good intentions. Good intentions.
Of course they are.
And I hope Alex has some good things to say about me. She said things, but I hope they were good things. So, but what I'm going to do is, let me take you a little bit on to what the World Mediation Circle is all about. A general kind of just an overview, and then your thoughts, because it's a work in progress. I always keep saying, so we'll keep refining it as we go along. But the information as such is lying on my website, which is mediatorvikram.com. So we'll just go there. Whatever little bit I've written about it, and then we'll discuss the larger picture and what we're trying to do in each country. So this is mediatorvikram.com. This is the one we launched, the Greece one, on the 18th. And you'll find information on connection and everything. But let's just go to what the World Mediation Circle, the thought behind it. So I call this the resolution revolution, and it's a worldwide web. The World Mediation Circle is a worldwide web of mediation circles, and I'll show you how that web works. Little definition of mediation. I won't get into totally, but little bit. Basic structure taken from the Singapore Convention, because at least we had one global definition out there, but added a few words and maybe subtracted a few also, just to, these voluntary, informal, and trusted are not part of that definition. And I felt it's not right to leave them out, because mediation has developed out of the courts. A lot has happened in the court system, and these two words definitely went out from there. These three words actually went out from there because of that. So I don't think we should, we're trying to develop mediation. I'm trying to do it in a manner like this, which is bringing moral values, principles, and ethics-based humanistic approach, where heart, soul, spirituality play an important role. And you'll hear this heart, soul, spirituality a little more than what you want, but I really feel that these are elements which kind of have got left out in general in the world and in relation to dispute resolution also. So help in resolving disputes, which we know, amicable and collaborative manner. But this is what they are. It's a safe spaces for conversations, dialogue, collaboration, consensus building, but without activism or advocacy. So a place where you can sit together, have objective conversations, and try and reach a consensus if you can, but at least have that dialogue in a space where the activism, advocacy part is not there. And then a long-term kind of a vision is that mediation circles will redefine politics at the local, national, and global level by moving from the colonial legacy of divide and rule to consensus building with mediators as leaders, and creating circles in schools, colleges, organizations, and communities, and also issue-based. Like we just launched that Israel-Palestine mediation circle. So we'll have those also. And then you have the mediators who have the mediator mindset, qualifications, training, experience not required. It might be a little controversial for people, but when we talk about, Adrian was speaking about the peer mediators, and we'll of course understand what his experience has been, but you'll find these children in schools itself who have that mindset, and we'll have to bring people out from schools, colleges, communities, create that little structure around that, which is what the circle is. And it's their circle, it's their dispute. They are the ones who are going to resolve it. We are not going there to teach them anything. Instead, we are coming out and going out and identifying those people. Not even, I mean, they're not even familiar with the word mediation. It's a process that happens. So we're just bringing the people out, asking them what that process that they do, and then you can use that word to put that circle together. So you have the mediators who have the skill in relation to assisting in resolving disputes. You have the peacemaker who has the skill in getting people together. And then you have the participants who have that mindset that dispute should be resolved amicably and in a collaborative manner. The idea is not to just bring in people who have the dispute. Let's bring people who have that mindset. So it's a community within a community of people who have that mindset. And this then, be at the local or national or global level, are people who definitely their issues within those communities get discussed, and solutions, creative solutions are brought out. But at least that conversation happens with bringing a lot of people. So to join the World Mediation Circle, there's a form here. So this is what you find here. And then you have the various mediation circles which have been launched. The list is here, but I'll take you through a little slideshow of that. And here what you have is what all events happen in the year. And this year there's a show called Talking Books, because some of us don't read them, which is me for sure. Then we have the country-based ones. We have the Ecuador happened, Ghana. Then another Talking Books, which is Ken Cloke's The Magic in Mediation. And always a pleasure listening to Ken and his words of wisdom. So, and he's also given us a discount with that coupon. And then we have, after the launches, we have gatherings of circles. So we had the launch in December of the Israel-Palestine Mediation Circle. So this is gathering number 3, a little anniversary celebration of my YouTube channel. And then a gathering of the Israel-Palestine Mediation Circle. Then we launched the Greece one, another Talking Books yesterday. This is also very nice. I mean, what Sherry has put together. And then this launch, and then 26th January, we had the Ireland. So that's what's happening. But a little bit of a slideshow. I like to put it out there, so it looks nicer than just putting the list out. So let me put that out. And then after that, your thoughts on how you are looking at taking it forward. So that 1 second which we take. So this is the larger World Mediation Circle. And then we have country-specific ones. So we have the India Mediation Circle. Then we have the World Indigenous Peoples Mediation Circle. So these get created in every country. So you have I was just talking before this to, this is Felicity in Australia. And that seems to be an important one that we need to develop in Australia. So the Australia Indigenous Peoples Mediation Circle will happen. So things like that. I mean, every country will have that. And lots of activity in there has to happen. Best practices to come out. And also within the indigenous peoples, the concept of mediation might have in some way broken down, because communities also have got broken down in general, and in, of course, indigenous peoples also. Then the reflective practice circle, idea being creating reflective practice groups as part of all circles. And Michael will help us in some way, bringing his expertise, because we call him the reflective practitioner. And then from there, people will take that, whatever knowledge we give, people get, what expertise, they take it into their circles and create those reflective practice groups, so that mediators at least have a space to talk about their experiences. And that is also an important aspect, because they are in a lonely activity, so they need to interact and find out what's been happening with them. And I mean, okay, we are coming up actually in February end. I think we'll put together a kind of a pilot project. Let's get people together. So International Commercial Mediation Circle, which means we'll have a France Commercial Mediation Circle also. So every area, people who work in that area can come together for that. Then the Sustainable Development Goals, lots of activity to happen here. Goal number 17 being collaboration. Definitely mediators and mediation have a role to play there. To achieve the goals, you need that collaboration. And then we have the refugee mediation circle, again, country-wise, because that's also a big issue in various countries. And Alex has definitely worked on that area. And so there are lots of parts of the refugee mediation circle which have to happen. So that is between, I mean, within the refugee community plus refugee community, integrating in a society, or what all comes in. So we have people who worked on each of those areas. So we'll have that. Then the organizational mediation circle, idea being every organization should have a outsourced mediator, but also develop capacity of people with that mindset within the organization also. So they are brought into conversations, into workplace disputes, maybe even contract drafting. If you have the right people within the organization there, fair contracts come up. And then disputes with external stakeholders, to bring in people initially from the organization itself who have those mindset. And if you can't resolve it, you bring in the outsourced mediator. So the outsourced mediator is like the general physician. So you have that same thing we'll see as we go along in the family mediation circle also. So broader aspect, every family should have a mediation circle and identify the right people there itself. And again, an external family mediator to go to as the general physician. And then this is a game that Massimiliano has created for people to experience conflict resolution without actually teaching them. So it's a nice thing. Alex, of course, knows about it. So she's also got some. And then we have the global school and college mediation circles, which will, what Adrian is going to tell us about his experience will also fit in here. I'll also talk about the college in India. It's also created one. And the various environmental, climate change, natural disaster, sustainability ones. Then we have the Israel-Palestine, Barbados. This is the college in India they've created one. So it's like students got together, and interesting things came out when they shared their experience. So there was one boy, he's actually he's in college, but has also already helped a family in resolving a dispute. I mean, let's say not a dispute, a family issue in relay, which was going towards divorce. He worked on that, and then some litigation which was going on helped resolve that. So children have that. They have, I mean, they're wise children, the wise people at whatever age. So we must bring them out. And then the artificial intelligence, lots of work to happen here. The artificial intelligence platforms as mediators, that's one, plus a lot of support that people can get there. And maybe as we go along, a conflict resolution focused platform, artificial intelligence platforms, because there isn't enough material maybe for artificial intelligence to learn, because mediators do not put out whatever their experiences are in relation to each mediation. So idea being, maybe we can ask mediators to give that information so that platform can learn from that. So what was the issue? Maybe talk about the process, what ultimately, how did they settle, so that those creative options are available for people around the world to access. So that's an activity, but that's, of course, it's going to take its time. Nothing's going to happen soon. So after the launches, we have gatherings. So this was gathering number 1 of that circle. Little get together are more informal kind of things. And then the Turkey, then again gathering. And the book that Massimiliano has written, where he's spoken about the game also and his own mindset in relation to the community and bringing people together. So he asked me to write the foreword for this book, which was really nice of him. And then we had the Ecuador, lots of good work happening in Ecuador in relation to mediation. So these people are doing great work there, which is, of course, we discussed it. This is a community that I live in Delhi. The Ghana Mediation Circle, the book that Ken Cloak has written. We had another gathering, the little celebration, and then the Greece, and then the book that happened yesterday, and then to France, and then we'll have the Ireland one on 26. So that's how it is. And we have a gathering after that. So this is broad picture. Now
you have to repeat all of it in French.
You have to do, yes, Alex, now you're going to do this. Let's do it in French now. Please take us through this in French, please.
No, I don't know. I feel strange speaking French with you not understanding us.
No issue at all. No issue
have
at all. No issue at all.
French
Please.
people speaking English, so that's fair enough.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. I think please do that. Please do that. Whatever we've gone through, please. I can open up this. What I can do is I can actually open up the site in French also. That can also happen. So I mean, but look, the Google Translate will not be the best. So it's not it's not be the best, but at least it'll give a little indicator. Not that, I mean, I'm sure people would be able to read it. I don't know whether people will be able to read it in English, but let's put the French version out there, and then maybe we can, whether that helps or not. And you can also tell me if the translation is good. Otherwise, we'll have to create a separate page for the, let's see how it reads. What's doing its French translation. Let's see what it comes out of. I hope it comes a good. Is that sounds okay? Mediator, Vikram, how do you pronounce that?
Mediator, Vikram.
Okay. So I'm sure this also reads all right.
It does.
Okay. Okay, not bad. At least I don't know.
No, it's not bad at all.
It's learning. That means learning. Yes, Alex, please.
Well, I don't know. Well, I think this is this circles. I don't know is made of who is attending it. So I'm happy to brainstorm here with Liz and Adrienne and whoever will join today or later on. I think the circles are the opportunity to brainstorm on how we want to share, either develop project to put together, either share practices or share tools. I think it's a generator of ideas, of projects that we could have all together, that we can initiating us by being present, or whoever reaches to the video and wants to find some people to do with someone else, as this job is kind of lonely. So yeah, you were about to say something, Vikram?
So, yeah, but what I was saying was that today what we'll do is, by the end of this conversation, we'll fix a date for the gathering, for the next gathering of the circle. And then we'll circulate the link of this recording and give the date and the Zoom link to people, so that we'll have more time. We'll do it maybe end of February or something. So we'll have more time this time. Definitely invitations could not be sent out by me because there was so much happening. All these circles were happening. So we'll have enough time. So that's what we're going to do. But you can, official language of the circle can be French. I have no problem with that. Perfectly all right. You can take it coordinated. I'm okay with that. But at least I had to give that general idea. And we'll discuss the general idea a little more, because I like this conversation I had today was actually, I mean, the broader vision was kind of clear even in that little conversation we had, what the whole idea is and how a country specific mediation circle, how it is a web. So within the France mediation circle, you will have the France refugee mediation circle and the indigenous people mediation circle and the commercial and everything. So we are creating all that. And then what was coming out from the Australia part of it is that there are lots of issues within the country, but are we really talking about how to bring everyone together? And of course, everyone has diverse views. So is there a space for all those diverse views to come together? So that is where the Australia Mediation Circle, you have conversations in schools, colleges. I mean, of course, you have the refugee and the indigenous people. There, of course, indigenous people is an issue. So that part of it comes together in that larger country-specific one. So spaces for local circles to have that little conversation till the national one, and what's happening at the national one goes down to the local. So it's like that ripple effect, so that when you throw a stone, the ripple going up and down. So that's how it is. But all this, Alex, please, in French. We need it in French.
Oh, mais on peut faire ça ensemble avec mes autres collègues. But could you please allow us to see each other on the screen, because now we see
You don't
the,
want to?
the
I thought you were going to
webpage.
take us through this, whatever that little description of the World Mediation Circle was in French, and then we can do that. Are we?
Okay, I count on you, Adrian, and Lise to, to keep complete. Bon, bonjour à tous. Et donc, vous êtes bienvenus à ce cercle de la médiation en France, donc pour réunir des médiateurs français ou francophones, voilà, à votre bon souhait, pour se réunir autour d'un projet comment dire, de révolution, de la résolution, voilà, c'est la traduction littérale aujourd'hui de l'anglais. Donc un espace où on peut échanger de façon confidentielle, en sécurité, et voilà, sur les pratiques, les principes, et l'éthique de nos pratiques de médiation, quels que soient les terrains où on les applique. Les cercles de médiation sont là pour aider les gens à résoudre leurs conflits. Donc, dans tous les endroits, de manière amicale, traduit le site, ça c'est drôle, de manière amicale ou de manière amiable et collaborative. Yeah, some translation are very funny.
Okay, we won't use the translation. I can switch that, put that out.
No, but leave it. It's good for those who really don't speak English, so so that's fine. Voilà, ce sont donc des espaces de conversation et de dialogue et de collaboration au sens de, voilà, d'échanger sur tout ce qui fait et qui nous aide à porter le consensus dans les différents sujets qui nous concernent, quoi. Voilà. Donc on pourra développer des cercles de médiation en France, autour des différents sujets qui ont déjà été créés, parce que vous avez peut-être entendu ou reconnu la présentation en anglais plus tard, qu'il y a déjà de nombreux autres cercles qui ont été créés autour de sujets tels que les réfugiés ou l'Israël-Palestine, ou bien de l'intelligence artificielle au sein de la médiation, enfin pour accompagner la médiation, ou bien autour de l'environnement, autour de la médiation dans les écoles ou dans les universités, comme fait Adrienne, donc si j'ai bien compris. Donc voilà, c'est des choses qui, en fonction des intérêts et des gens qui nous rejoignent, pourront être partagées en commun, développées, voilà, comme on en a envie, en fait. Voilà, donc c'est un peu ça l'idée. Et pour ça, vous pouvez vous connecter, avoir plus d'infos sur le site, donc Mediator Vikram, voilà, qui s'affiche là devant vous, et donc aider à comment dire, partager ces principes et ces éthiques du consensus et des règlements amiables. Voilà.
Okay,
Je sais pas si Adrienne, vous avez,
yeah, please.
Adrienne, est-ce que je te tutoie, je me permets de te tutoyer, je ne
Bien
sais
sûr.
pas si c'est bien,
Bien sûr.
mais je me permets ça. Voilà,
Non,
si tu
ça
as
arrive.
envie de compléter, de compléter cette présentation.
No, it's very good presentation, no problem.
So now the thoughts, because I've just put out what I have created and what my thoughts are, but each of you will have to give me what your thoughts are and how we are going to take this forward, because I felt that the starting point is this: everyone just picks up one school, college, community, and organization, and gets that feedback, works with them, sees whether it's happening, what all comes up. Then we have that gathering where we discuss those experiences. So the idea of the circle is not to get into really those topics in relation to mediation, and we discuss that, because there are now more than 675 videos on my channel, which we've discussed a lot of things there. So that content is already available. Now we have to work on the ground, so that whole grassroots movement of identifying people, bringing them out, and creating that little structure around an informal activity which is already happening. So it's not about going out there and saying, oh, mediation is very good and you must use mediation and I am a mediator, and not that. Here we go out and we asking them about those people in their community or school, or helping people resolve disputes or fights or disagreements, whatever word is used. And then those people just share their experience as to how they helped someone, or how they were helped by someone. And we actually record those experiences and we can circulate that to people, saying that, okay, this person did this. Now we can put a name to the process and say, oh, what this person did was mediation. What this person is doing is what a mediator does. So that they connect with it as their process. It's not like some rocket science has been developed somewhere and now we've come here and now we are going to teach you about mediation. So of course, Adrian is a professor, so I talking about teaching, he might not like that, but I'm saying this is something which is experienced more than taught. So your thoughts, Adrian? What are your thoughts?
No, I mean, I salute the initiative. I don't know about your experience, and I'll be curious about how it goes in other countries, but I don't think the French mediation industry is united. I don't think we have numbers. We don't have like phone books of all the mediators. It's kind of a very, very in French, morcelé, like very small parts of this.
Located or something.
You know, the village Gaulois type of mentality. There's a lot of initiatives. The context, I think, is changing in France in the sense that there's a lot more room for mediation. There's a lot of talk about mediation. There's more and more activity for mediators. This I'll let Alexandra and Lise confirm that. And so you're coming at an interesting moment, kind of. But at the same time, I think everyone has their different circles, and it will take a while to get everyone in the same circle. But I think I think it's long overdue, and the fact that it comes from abroad could even be a strength here to help us at least unite the mediators that do speak English. That will be easier. So no, I'm curious. Again, I'm an observer of mediation more than anything else. I don't come here as a professor. Kind of, I've always been interested in the field. I've practiced myself, so I'm just curious to see where it takes us collectively.
Because what the work that you have done in relation to creating those peer mediators is actually something which is going to happen in every school and college, but only difference is that we are not coming there to teach you. We are just identifying those people and bringing them together. That's what we are start. Because the thing is that there is so much around it that to say that, okay, we'll teach you something which is a skill which is quite inherent. This is what I was saying, your experience with these students, what was it? Because I have spoken to students all over and I've really found that you can actually ask people and you get names and they talk about their experience. So it's all out there. So we're just putting a structure around the informal thing which is happening. So I think we'll get your feedback on what you have done, but let's get Lisa's thoughts. Yes, Lise, some thoughts?
Well, I kind of feel the same in the sense that well, I haven't said that I'm trying to develop my own mediation practice, and it goes like in many directions, and it's kind of difficult. But I have this feeling of like getting to know a lot of mediators and getting in touch and in exchange and exchange ideas and then practice. And so in that sense, this circle starting embryo circle is a very interesting starting point. I kind of feel that I also have to choose the streams I want to follow, because time is limited and so on. So I'm curious to understand where this can bring us. From what you said, Vikram, I understood that the idea is that you would like mediators to exchange with people out there and make them understand, realize, getting conscious about the fact they are mediators themselves, and bring them into the circle so that they can exchange with the community, the growing community. And then as a second step or next step, to spread the idea of what is mediation, what is peacemaking, what is the peace message that everyone can contribute. And is that what you intend to do?
Yeah. Only little difference of what you're saying is that they actually create circles. So finally you've identified them and then tell them that, look, you can actually create a circle in your school or your community, so that at least people can identify, they have a face for mediation, they have a face for a mediator, and someone, that trusted aspect of it is important according to me. So here is someone connected to them in some way. The process is something that they can hear about their experiences right from people within themselves. So it's not that somewhere is coming and talking about you. This is your friend. Your friend was helped by so and so. This was what their misunderstanding was. I'm talking about a very simple level in terms of schools and colleges. And in communities, look, in the global experience is that communities are breaking down or have broken down. So to say that there is a community that you will walk into and ask them and they will be able to identify someone might be difficult. It might be difficult because communities as self, what are they? How do they exist as residential communities? Are people even connected to each other? So there will be the role of the mediators to actually bring communities together also. So that aspect will also happen. So there's a larger role for mediators, and not just resolution, but actually maybe creating communities. So that will happen. And this aspect of getting mediators together, that networking and all, now is just one part of it, so that for them to actually share their experience in creating those circles. That is what the important thing is, because a lot of networking has happened. A lot of, I mean, globally, we've had a lot of people connecting and everything, but that is really right now not really the objective. The objective is, let's work on the ground. Let's actually see how we can develop that culture of mediation, and everyone has their area that they want to work in, so they work in those areas. Something in that sense. Is that, I mean, is it a little clearer there, or?
Yes, I see what you say. Well, basically, I don't know what Alexandra, how she feels about it, but I personally have the feeling that I already do that in my very tiny scale, you know. I try to spread the word about mediation. So basically, the idea would be to get back to this circle and like share the experience of trying to spread the word. And yeah, okay.
A little beyond spreading the word, actually creating they create that circle within themselves, so that there is a structure around that process, and you are available for the support. And for mediators, look, I feel it is also a marketing exercise, because if you are going out, but you're not going there as promoting mediation, but you're actually working with the community to create something which is good for them, and you're also the face of mediation for them, or someone who's really practicing mediation, which is your actual professional activity. So they connect with that aspect of it. So there will be issues that they can not resolve within themselves, or may not want to resolve within themselves, so they have someone to support them on that. So it's a marketing exercise also for mediators, and also for them to become the face of mediation for the communities, and of course organizations, and which includes business communities also. So that's also something that helps. But because sometimes it helps where you're not coming in only with the sole objective of just talking about mediation. I feel that promotion of mediation, lots of activity definitely has happened on that. But to actually, for it to give results, is when someone experiences it. And once you experience it, that's in a way, let's not say you're hooked, but you know this works. So one is of the way that people share their experiences, so they know that this has happened. The other, we put that game out, you play the game and you experience it. The main thing is you should experience it. So that's how we try to create those circles.
Mhm.
But Alex, I'm not getting in her because she knows a lot about what is happening. So we won't get certain questions which I feel that I also should clarify if there is something that you haven't. So that's why I was getting Alex. But Alex is going to tell us what your thoughts are, Alex.
My thoughts on the circles. Well, yeah, I know what Liz is saying. I know that she's already, let's say, talking and promoting mediation, and this is also why I invited her to join today, because I think the idea of the circles, it's okay. The other name of resolution revolution could be let's make I don't know, mediation viral, or let's make consensus viral, something, a pandemics of communication, something like this, like where there is dislocation, let's try to bring back to link. So really the idea is for mediation, but to make it broader, as you're saying, through tools. You spoke earlier, I think Liz know already, but not I think, I know Liz already knows about Medianos. I don't know about Adrian, but we have also some tools developed, let's say independently, but who went and get connected to Vikram circles, that can be used to spread the word and to discuss the conflict aspect in a fun way, I would say, in a game way. So really the idea is to desacralize and the fear that most of people may have of conflict in traditional, let's say, find simple ways or in fun ways, if possible, that to help them, that there are tools to use, or they can reach out someone, and it's not something bad. So really, it's try and open the views on the things. So. How to do that, but I think by reaching to the community that are closer of interest to us to start, because schools, we have kids or we don't, or we have friends at school, or we are teaching, or at work, or at sport, or wherever, and we can do that by starting with our points of interest, but also then we can mix to discover other interests, other communities, and let's say get bigger views, bigger hearts, I would say, welcoming bigger diversities in this kind of exchange. I think this is the point of the circles. Well, it's, I don't know, I speak, maybe it's a bit philosophical, but we also need to make the concrete steps. So little by little, depending on everybody's also availability and capability. But yeah.
You can also share your thoughts in French. You can also share your thoughts in French. It's not an issue, please. If you want to share them in French.
You feel I'm not clear when
no, you were clear, English. But you said that some people might not speak English. So anytime you want to share your thoughts in French, please do so. But actually what happens, that everything that you say, once it's on YouTube, you get subtitles. So there is, I mean, I can also listen to you when I can go to the subtitles. That's not a problem. Yeah, that's not a problem. But let language not be a barrier, because it has to be inclusive. We have to make it as inclusive as possible. So people should not feel left out only because of the language. So definitely that we need to do, and bring people in as much as we can. But I think what we need to do is, if we talk about schools and colleges, what I've noticed is that you find a professor like Adrian who has that mindset, who will be there to create the circle, but not wanting to maybe influence it so much. Let it be the children's process that they're creating it, but available as a support. And because a professor or a teacher is going to be in that school for quite some time, so consistent, because as new children come in, you have to keep that process going. So that consistency in the school will happen. So I feel that a school teacher and of course college professor who have that mindset, maybe we should maybe take it through them, because that's what is in the college here. Because I'm trying to do this myself, some model ones. but largely it'll have to be you, if people to
Mm.
take it forward. But however I've seen it, I feel that way at least, and it's also something which I mean, if it's someone they respect, it's also saying that no, you people can do it yourselves. I think that also is a good thing, because up till now you have authority figures telling you you can't do it yourself. We will do it for you. But instead of this, that person is saying, no, I'm there, but this is you. You're doing it. You find the right people
Mm.
together. So that's
Yeah,
for the
sure.
schools and colleges. Yeah.
Our school, I think with Liz, we know quite some other mediators interesting with this topic, because they have kids also and stuff, and they really feel the meaning of starting developing the mediation skills and mindset from the younger age. So for sure, it's a great topic, of course. Mm.
And the advantage, I mean, because we're trying to put together as part of the larger world mediation circle, so there is interaction between people from different circles, because what people realize initially, they think this is a problem in France, mediation not being, we're not developing, whatever, various issues in relation to mediation, but then they find out this is a global issue, and they feel good or bad about it, whatever. But at least they together feel bad about it and together feel good about it. So that also, that exchange, so being part of a larger whole, I think, is definitely helpful. And that also is to some extent gives certain maybe credibility to the whole resolution revolution, that there are people from all over. And the look, long term objective is that you'd have a database of global mediators available, which is at a local level or a national level, whatever. But this is not a process which has to be, it's not a country specific thing. You trust someone, any other part of the world who helps you resolve something, why not? So that's the idea as we go along. But of course, countries have tried to put barriers in between through legislation, that it has to be someone maybe certified in our country. So for that agreement, the settlement agreement, to be enforceable as a court decree, some places it has things like that. So maybe those things will come up for some people, but if that is an issue of certifications or anything, which I don't of course believe they're required, but if they're required, you can actually put a session through for that. So people who come out from that grassroots movement and they want to take it further, that whole process will also be available for them. We can always do that. If a country has already put barriers there, we'll have to do something about that. We'll do it. That's not an issue. But we'll, of course, at the same time, if you have enough voices, lobby governments to look at the law from the perspective of how mediation should be taken forward, and not because you have legislated on other areas of dispute resolution. Maybe you have arbitration and all, you have legislation there. It's not the same thing. A lot of differences there in terms of enforceability and everything. So we'll have to, of course, discuss that. There's a lot of things to be discussed there. So, Liz, I'm sure there are more questions, more answers, more things that you can give us.
At least a question. I mean, what about, like, not the training itself? Maybe it's not the right word, but getting to spread the tools, or I mean, people may have mediation abilities or skills from scratch, but maybe they have to be coached as well, given some techniques, some tools. They can start like their own circle locally in their schools or whatever. But yeah, I guess it's difficult for them to start from scratch without getting, coached.
Okay. So how I'm looking at it is that, let's take an advantage, the example of a college. Let's look at a college. Now you've gone into a college and you've had that first discussion, that who are those, I'm saying children, who are those students, whatever word you want to use, whether they don't like to be called children. So students who help other students or their friends resolve disagreements or fights or disputes, whatever word. So in that conversation, you will find children who will talk about their experiences. They will talk about how they did that. So at least we've got an indicator that this person has that mindset. Now we want this obviously this skill of theirs to develop. Now, one way of developing the skill has been that whole training process and all that, and you say coaching, all that was already happening. Instead, I want them to actually work on that skill, to actually further experience it by getting to do it a little more, which means once the word spreads within the college that this happens, so other people can approach these people. That's the circle that we're trying to create. So they get more experience. So with experience, they evolve. Now, the other thing they do is that they go into their communities and families and they create circles there. So now when they've gone out and spoken about it, they might not be able to do it because the world definitely looks at age a lot of times. I'm saying wise people can be at any age. Wise people are wise people. Age should not be a factor. But if that comes up in them actually helping or people not letting them do it, well, although this college thing I told you that there was that it's a person in college actually helping people in their family resolve something, but if that doesn't happen, that's where you come in. But don't come in as teaching this person who has a skill. Take that person as a co-mediator. The person is sitting with you through that process. So in a way, they've created work for you. They've brought in those people to you, and they've sat through it through the process as mediators and not shadowing you. So there will be conversations they can have separately. They can have conversations jointly with you. So they are learning on the job, actually evolving while experiencing and practicing. So that's the way I want to develop it. Because theoretical aspect of it, sometimes I just feel this is an experiential thing, not a theoretical thing. So they will connect to the theory. They will connect to the theory because they will have experienced it. They have the skill also. They will connect to the theory. So we have a lot of theory available. I mean, in the sense, whatever I have, plus we can put more. We can have skill development programs. We can put more content on a structured way. I've kept it largely unstructured because I wanted various topics to be discussed. So have a look at the website. Have a look at the various topics which are there. What I can do is give me one more minute to go back to the website to tell you where all information is. Like, what do you want to do, the English one or the French one? Whatever. What?
English.
Okay. French is that bad, is it? Is that bad? Okay, so let's look at the English one. So what you can do is, now here I've put out what has happened this year. So you have the YouTube links to all these. So that's available. So if you go down, these are the various shows. So these are various shows that already take place. But if you go to each, now this important is also this part, which is Ken Cloak, being a person of his stature and his wisdom, that's available to you. I think it would be maybe 40, 50 hours of content only with him, which a lot of people don't get a chance to listen to. And definitely these are words of wisdom, but a lot of it people might not connect with at the first time they listen to it. Definitely, I mean, it is his experience over the last 40, 50 years, which he's talking about. So people will connect with him as they go along. But I just feel that this is something available and for free. People should take advantage of it. So he's given the keynote address or his launch circles or the symposia and conferences that I've organized. He's been there. So this is one I feel that very valuable content available for people. So that's one section by itself. So you can have a look at this. Then if you go to each year, so you go to 2023, what all has happened. This evolution of a mediator is the series is what I started with, to tell people that, look, mediators are not made in 40-hour factories. They go through a lot to be who they are, which includes their whatever, they're born into a family, there is a value system there, their relationship with their parents, their grandparents, with their siblings, with the people around them, their experiences in life, their circumstances, everything makes them who they are. You are devaluing and disrespecting mediators by saying we'll make you a mediator in 40 hours. So for that, this series started there. In Conversation with a Beautiful Mind is just a conversation with people with the mediator mindset and talking about. So this is all that happened. What I want to show you is that because we have these events. So like this symposium happened on mediation legislation. So you can click here, the schedule will open up. So you'll have all the names of the speakers also, the YouTube links also next to that. So these are the World Mediators Conference, which starts on 18th May every year. So you have some 70 plus topics, 80 plus panelists. So again, you click the schedule, it'll open up. So everything is very simple here. I mean, I do this all myself, so I have to keep it as simple as possible. So an Excel sheet will open up and you can have a look at all those. So what I will do is after this, I'll show you the sheet for this and show you the kind of topics which have been discussed. So skill development definitely can happen through those. And I mean, I feel the best in the world are talking about it. So same thing with the, yes, ma'am.
Vikram. Anyway, I don't think I don't want to speak for Liz, but we discussed this topic many times. I think when we speak about training or stuff, it's not indeed necessarily only about theory, but about practice. We all know that becoming a better mediator is always about practice. But what is helping from theory, it's sometimes naming the things we are doing to know what we are improving or what we are practicing. You know, a kid is able to maybe naturally put himself or herself in somebody else's shoes, but it's good if he understand that this is what he or she is doing at the moment, you know, or that what is active listening. Okay, I'm just throwing through a few words like this. It's not about making a history of who was the founder of active listening and said it's better to do it like this or like that and la la la. I think well, I don't know. I agree on this. I mean, it's interesting if you're interested also in history and stuff, which is well, another topic, but practicing, knowing and being conscious of what you're practicing, I think it's what it's about. And I agree, and it's good. There are all this there's all these materials on the website with all this, you know, experienced mediator indeed that can say and talk about this let's say tools upon this this practice they have with specific names that can help us identify what we need to improve or to practice to become always more skilled, more experienced, and more able to to see and help people move in their conflicts or disagreements. I think
so concept is the same, except the fact that they're actually doing it with actual situations. So this is an actual conflict or dispute that they have brought out. They are experiencing it and working on it, and they're learning from that. And wherever they feel that they are getting, I mean, something they can't work on, they've got you to support them. And in that process, it's an actual thing which is happening. So all those things that you are saying in that interaction, you will anyway be doing with them. But only difference is that now you're working with an actual problem rather than like you have role playing or other things. You've got and they are connected with it. So the learning is much more in that kind of sense.
And knowing a bit, I don't know, I'm curious what Adrian and Liz think about this, but knowing the French word, I would say it will be easier to do this way in communities that are not made out of mediators only, because it's been so far, for me at least at the very beginning, super difficult to find mediators open to welcome you as co-mediator to practice, to offer this, you know, experience. In fact, it happened to me, I don't know, twice, that people who wouldn't know me as a person or as a mediator would invite me to allow me to be with them into somebody's conflict. So this is a super challenge in France, at least. I don't know what is your feeling on this.
No, Liz has some thoughts on it, and then I'll put in my thoughts.
Adrian as well, I see.
Yes, yes.
I just have to interrupt you.
He wants to leave a little. Yeah, he wants to leave a little early, so we'll take your thoughts. But
I'm sorry. I just gotta go because I have a small kid to go pick up. So I'll watch the rest on YouTube. But thank you guys and have a nice weekend all. I'm sorry, I really need to go.
No thoughts before you leave? Nothing? Because you don't have time at all?
I'll come back.
Okay.
Au revoir.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Vikram.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Au revoir, à bientôt.
Yeah, what I just wanted to say something about Alexandra's experience when she started practicing as a mediator. Actually, in the past week, there has been like a great initiative led by Alain Ducasse, who is a mediator, and on the proposition of Jean-François Pellerin, who is the president of or director of SIM, the syndicat des médiateurs, to actually create a marketplace for co-mediation. So people looking like mediators, looking for co-mediators, they would like place an ad to look for co-mediators, and the co-mediators that are actually looking for mediations can apply to the mediators looking for people. And so there's a match created in this like small, very lightweight marketplace that is currently done on Google Groups. And this way, connections can happen, and young mediators can look for, like, can find real cases to mediate.
So nice. That's what I'm saying. These are things out there, and there's lots more that can be done. So there's always space for lots of these things. And here, because we're trying to create something where I'm talking about children to start with, because they're out there, they're actually talking to families and within their communities. So more work is coming out, because definitely a lot of these conflicts they don't go beyond. I mean, sometimes they just stay within families and communities. So they bring that out, and then they have experienced people like you there. So they come to you, and I mean, as a marketplace, or call it whatever, it's something that can be similar. It's similar, but it's just that it's a more structured in relation to that community or that family, that you have a circle. So there's a community developing, and that community has a role to play on a larger level. So it's not just about resolving a dispute and that's it. No, this is people coming together who have the similar mindset, which was I was telling you, that the long-term thing is that community has first of all, bringing the community together is the role that the mediator will play, or the peacemakers will play. And then that community will have a role to play within the larger community, and then national, global. So a little more than just resolution, a little community of like-minded people, something that. Yes, Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, no, nothing. That's fine. That's fine. So let's organize a gathering next time with more people.
Catherine. Yes. So when do you want to do that? Because what is happening really is, what I'm trying to do is that every circle to have a particular day in the month that we can have that gathering. So we just have to send that out. Like example being third Wednesday of every month we are meeting. So that becomes a regular kind of thing. So tell me, what day is a good day? Liz, what is a good day for you?
Me.
For you, Alex, what is a good day?
Go ahead, Liz. I am working now, so I have much less availability. So let's say that are let's say in good synchronicity with India time. So
no, we'll find a synchronicity. We'll find some way. But what is a good day? First of all, let's go to the day.
Weekend.
What is a good day? Weekend. Liz, what's a good day? Saturday is a good days?
Yeah, well, it's not the best time for me, but I'll manage. I'll try to manage.
Or do you want to make it later in the day? Is later in the day better? We can always look at later in the day.
No, but Alex knows it. It's just weekends, it's not that easy for me because I have got a family and so on. But I'll find a way.
Okay, so weekends is all right. In terms of time, any other time, we can always do it later. Earlier for you is not.
You prefer later, Liz? No, I don't know. You prefer later in such.
Yes, maybe if it's on Saturdays, yes, maybe in the afternoon. Yeah.
What's a good time?
No, but don't. I'll manage.
No, this is how it goes, because if it's your convenient for you, it'll be convenient.
I'm not sure I will be able to attend anyway every time, so I don't want to impose anything I'll manage to be there. But you know,
This way we'll get to know that what is normally a comfortable time for people. So we're just getting to know that. So for you, say afternoon on a Saturday is good. Alex, is afternoon on a Saturday good for you?
It's possible as well. I mean,
Perfect.
also to adapt, it's matter of organization.
So when you say afternoon, what is it? It's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. How does it work? What's a good time when
2
you say
is
afternoon?
fine.
2.
I don't know.
Perfect.
2
So what we'll do
fine,
is
or
the next one we'll
5.
do on Saturday, 24th of February. So the last Saturday of every month, is that all right for our gathering?
Oh my God. But next Saturday, is this Saturday, I won't be available.
No, 24th of February.
I know,
24th of
I
February.
won't be there. I am.
me neither.
After that, next Saturday after that, we can go into first Saturday of the month. We can do it 2nd of March. Is that all
Let's
right?
discuss this out of the recording.
No, why it's in the recording is that anyone who watches the link knows this. At the end of that, they know that this is the day when it's fixed. Because otherwise, communication is where the issue lies. Sending out emails, they're going to
24th
spam.
is Mediano's gathering in Italy.
Oh, okay, so you
I
must
cannot
do
be
that.
there.
You must do that. So, is 2nd of March okay? Yes. Liz is okay with any day. She's okay with any Saturday at 2 o'clock. If she cannot make it, she can't make it. That's what she's saying. Look, I will try my best, but if she can't make it,
same for everything.
Exactly, for everyone, It's the same. I would prefer if someone lands up, but otherwise I'm sitting there. I'll wait. I'm okay with that. I just like someone to talk to because I've not been able to talk to myself. That's been a problem with me. It's been a problem. I'm trying to do something about it. If I could do that, at least right now I only have 675 plus videos. I would have had 6,000 videos out there. I just need someone to have the conversation with. That's okay.
But to be honest, for me, okay, first month of this one is an exception. I can, but in April I won't be able. So I think it's gonna change every time. We're just gonna fix it.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. We can do that definitely.
This time I can. Okay, the 2nd of March is okay.
And when do you go into daylight time?
Sorry?
I'm just put daylight when do you go into daylight saving time? When do you change your from the
I don't know, somewhere here. I don't know.
Because for me the time changes because we keep the same time.
Yeah, I know.
It's end of March.
End of March. Okay.
Yes.
So beginning of March is okay. So basically your 2 o'clock is going to be my 6:30 right now. That's what I'm trying to put because it'll change to 5:30 later. So right now
it's 2 better or is 5 better, Liz? What do you think?
2 or 5?
No, not 5 can't happen. 5 can't happen. Alex, that'll be 10:30 for me. 5 o'clock will be 9:30 for me. That's no, 9:30 can happen. I'm okay with 9:30. Actually, 9:30 can happen. Is evening better?
I'm wondering.
Liz, what do you say? Is 5 o'clock better or 2 o'clock better?
2.
2. Perfect.
But I mean, it's more.
We'll see.
Okay, let's say 2 o'clock for the 2nd of March.
Yeah.
We'll see from there.
Perfect.
Ça te va, Alex?
Ouais. Question d'organisation.
Okay, but only little exercise. What I wanted people to do was before the next gathering, just if you can speak to one school, one college, one organization, one community, one family, just to get a little feedback from them as to what we are trying to do, what their thoughts are, and if they actually take it up and they understand it and actually create a circle within their school, college, community, organization. So we'll get at the next gathering, we can discuss that, what their experience was. And if we can actually bring in some of those people that we identify when we actually talk to a school and they say, okay, this person helps us. If we can bring them in, the only thing with schools will be that those children, we can't record that without their parents' permission. So we won't do that. But for other people, we can actually record that experience. And then that gets circulated. And it can happen in French. I mean, that communication can happen in French. So we can circulate that. Okay, this is happening in this school, this person. Because as we go along, we need to identify those people for the public also. So the people know that, okay, this person exists in that community. There is this person. How do I get in touch with this person?
Challenge. in a new
Well,
city as for myself, but okay.
you'll manage, Alex. You'll manage. This is a good way of getting to know people in the city also.
Yeah, you know, so many things I have to do to be in a new city. Whatever. Okay, I think I'll have to yeah, also to leave at some point. So
Yeah, no problem.
are we fine with this date? So 2nd of March at 2 p.m. French time, right?
Okay.
Right.
Thank
Right.
you, Vikram.
Yeah, for the moment, we'll keep it as the first Saturday of every month, and then we can change it as we go along. So,
Okay.
so thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
coming in. It was
Thank you.
always a pleasure talking to you, Alex, and a pleasure talking to you, Lise. And definitely, let's try and create a big circle. So we'll send out information and we send out right now. Say send this Zoom link. Let's keep the same Zoom link right now. And
Okay.
okay.
And
All right.
we'll do that. Okay.
So,
Thank you very
thank you
much,
very much.
Vikram.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have
And
a
see
good
you.
day all and
Bye.
talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.